everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video or coming to watch it. I really appreciate it. Before I get started, well, one, as you can clearly see, I'm wearing no makeup, so this will be a fun little video where you get to see me put on some makeup. But second of all, I want to thank all of my recent subscribers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I just want to give a shout out because in my last video, I know I said I forget to do that sometimes. Like, I really appreciate you, but I'm just an idiot who forgets to say it. But thank you so much for being a recent subscriber, and those of you who are watching my videos, thank you as well. I really appreciate all of your support. And yes, so I just wanted to say that really quick before I forgot and got into this video. And again, as you can see, no makeup. I just have some errands to run today, some places to go, so I thought I'd get ready. And I know I said a couple videos ago in my empties videos that I would get this video up, and I've totally forgotten about it. It's kind of like a back to school first day of school makeup look that somebody requested, but and I know it's like the middle of the school year, like already February, and I haven't gotten it up, so I apologize about that. But I figured, you know, might as well. I mean, when I think of back to school or makeup for school, I think of something easy, fast, and just natural. Granted, this might not be fast at all because I take my time doing my makeup, but one of the rules I did try to really work on is using mostly or all drugstore products because they're more affordable for people who are in school, whether it's college or anything. I mean, if you're on a budget, these will be great products to use. Things that just are more natural for every day and just things like that. So I wanted to really try to do that for this video, and I apologize if I sound kind of funky. I think I might be coming down with a cold. I don't know. Maybe I just need to drink more water. But yeah, so I wanted to do something that would be, you know, pretty everyday, appropriate stuff, something you could definitely wear to school if you want to wear makeup to school. You can always use more or less products or substitute any products out that you needed to. I just really looked at my collection, what I like to wear every day and what's more affordable. So yeah, I wanted to just mention that. And so this will kind of be like a get ready with me, but I apologize. I'm not very good at these all the time. I might cover up my face. I might stop talking so I can concentrate. But yeah, so we will just make it through it together. And yeah, so if you're interested in seeing a video like that, just keep on watching and we will jump right in and have a lot of fun. So for this video, this is one of the parts where I wasn't able to use as many drugstore products. This is priming the face. And if you don't have a primer, just use a moisturizer. But there are plenty of drugstore primers, plenty of different kinds for your skin type. But I have normal to dry skin. So today, I always use my MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus and my Skindinavia Makeup Primer Spray. But I'm going to kind of re-moisturize my face with my Spackle Hydrating Moisturizing Under Makeup Primer. And it's just kind of a lotiony primer. So I'm going to get a little bit of that on my hands, warm it up, and just apply that all over. And these primers are more high-end and more expensive, so that's where I kind of failed at the drugstore thing I tried to do. But for the rest of the part, most of my makeup is seriously like all drugstore or drugstore priced. So I do that, and then what I like to do is use my two primer sprays after that. So I like to take my MAC Fix Plus because this kind of helps give a little more hydration and seal in any moisture. So I just kind of spray that all over. And then I let that sit. And then in just a minute, I will use my Skindinavia Makeup Primer Spray, which is an awesome spray. This is very expensive. They own Urban Decay, so if you cannot get your hands on this, seriously use any primer you're comfortable with. Because some people have oily skin, some people have redness. I have some redness, but I'm just going to ignore it today, to be honest, because I'm using so many other primers and sprays. But yeah, skin prep is always a great thing. You can use moisturizer, just a moisturizing sunscreen lotion, because I also have my oil-free moisturizer from Neutrogena. It's got my sunscreen in it. Sometimes you could just use this. It would keep your face nice and tacky, protected. And while we're waiting on that, we will talk about that foundation I'm going to be using. So there's plenty of drugstore foundations. Feel free to use whatever you're comfortable with, drugstore or high-end. But I'm going to use my CoverGirl Olay CC Tone Rehab Foundation Base. And this is just in 105 Ivory, the lightest shade. It's supposed to be color correcting primer, or color correcting foundation, which it is. I just love how affordable it is. It does have a fragrance. It smells kind of like First Laundry, just very clean. So if you're sensitive to fragrance, be aware of that. But I always have to mix my foundations with the white foundation, so I use the MAC Face and Body in white. But that's just because all foundations are too dark for me since I am so pale. So feel free to use whatever foundation you want. I'm going to go ahead and shake this up and spray it on my face. And another note, if you don't have time to wear foundation and you have nice skin, just throw on like a powder like my rimmel Stay That, which I will mention later. If you just have an oily T-zone and just want to control that, feel free to do that. And I fan my face off just to try to make my primer sprays dry and sink into my skin just a little bit faster. But while we're doing that, I'm just going to take my handy dandy old mirror, and it's dirty, don't judge me. And I'm going to mix my two foundations on it. So I take about a pump of this one, and my matte face and body, I shake it up, then just squirt out a little bit so I can mix them. And I'll hold this up so you can see it. It basically just looks like this. And then I just mix it with my finger. And sometimes I do this on the back of my hand, but sometimes I do it on this just because I don't like getting my hand dirty all the time. So you're going to mix, mix, mix. And this is just going to lighten up the foundation so that it matches my skin a little better, because my neck is a little bit paler than my face. Yes, that's what I meant to say. And so I do that, and then I'll just start kind of donning it all over my face. And I do have another mirror over here, so if I look away, that's what I'm doing. Because I do use my cell phone to film, because I cannot afford a fancy camera. I will be completely honest about that. So when I don't make direct eye contact, it's because I'm just either looking at myself to make sure I can see what's happening, or I'm looking in my mirror to concentrate. I always feel like I should note that. I'm not trying to be rude, or act like I don't know where to look. Those are seriously the things. And I'm going to flip on my light over here, just so I can see a little bit better. Alright, now I'm just going to use a damp Real Technique sponge, and you can use a foundation brush or anything just to blend that in. And I use the flat side to just pounce it all over my face. And normally I use a foundation brush, but this is just what I grabbed. And all you do with the Real Technique sponge or beauty blender is you run it under the faucet in your sink or something, squeeze it out until it gets nice and damp and squishy and large, and it will be great for blending in foundation or concealer a lot faster. Again, the reason why I'm using this is a lot faster than using a foundation brush. Okay, now let's see, I'm just going to actually dab that straight into my foundation and build it up a little bit since I have a little bit left. Now I will say this MAC face and body does sheer out foundations a little bit and make them a lot more dewy, so just be aware of that. And I have Aquaphor on my lips, so I'm going to wipe it off so I can blend everything in. Blend down the neck. Now for concealer, I'm going to take two different concealers. They're both from the drugstore. I have Maybelline Fit Me in Fair, the NYX HD in Fair. I'm going to use this for highlighting and this for under my eyes and any face blemishes I have. This does have more of a pinky undertone. So I'm just kind of going to first swipe under it and do kind of that like triangle shape. Let me see if I can scoot up just a little bit so you can see a little bit better. And again, maybe you're a person who doesn't want to wear foundation. You just want to wear for school like concealer powder, which is totally fine. But I personally do like wearing foundations just to even out my skin tone and things like that. Again, we're taking our sponge, just blending that in, and this just makes it so much faster and so much more flawless than a brush. So I recommend this if you're in a hurry, or if you just really love to use that sponge instead of a brush. I mean, it's totally up to you, whatever you want to do. I'm going to shut off this light so I can see better. There we go. Oh, I like that a lot. Now you can probably see better too. And now if you have really dark under eye circles, get like a peachy tone or pink toned concealer to camouflage those before you conceal. The Maybelline Fit Me can work if they're not too bad. But you could also use the Maybelline Brightening Concealer, which is a pink one, or Pixie Correction Concentrate, which is kind of peach. But I'm not a fan of that because it's a little too dry for me. Or you can also get the L'Oreal Lumi like correcting brightening concealer. Or this is Maybelline still, I'm sorry. But those are all different options for if you want to conceal under eyes and you're on a budget. Those are great ones. And if you do want to spend those big bucks, there's Bobbi Brown, Benefit Erase Paste, all those different correcting concealers. So now to set my concealer and the rest of my face pretty quickly, I'm going to use my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder in Transparent. I'm going to start with my under eyes. And for this, I'm going to use, I also use very affordable brushes, the e.l.f. Blush Brush. It's kind of fluffy, and I like to just set my under eye concealer with that because it's nice and fluffy, and I never use this for blush because it's terrible for blush. And I just kind of pat this all over wherever I put concealer so it doesn't crease as much and so it doesn't move anywhere. Because if you set that creasing, it will not go away. And that's another great reason to use a beauty blender. It will kind of soak up some of that excess product so that it doesn't go anywhere. Now, what I'm going to do, I don't like using powder on my entire face, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my Skindinavia makeup setting spray, and and actually spray this all over my face. Then I'm going to wait for it to dry, and while it's almost dry, I'm going to press my beauty blender in just to help that set the rest of my makeup again before I use any face products. And while we're doing that, let's just talk about some of the other products we're going to use. And I wanted to mention another primer. If you need a great anti-redness primer, you can use the NYX Photo Lover Primer in Anti-Redness. It's just a green primer. It will mattify, smooth your skin out, and kind of help reduce any redness on your face. It is a silicone-based primer, but that's just a great drugstore option. If you have oily eyelids, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Shadow Lock Eyelid Primer today. e.l.f. has great primers. They're super affordable. You can get it at almost any drugstore or eyeslipsface.com. These are super affordable. Wow, I realized I forgot to use my NYX HD concealer to highlight. Don't even worry about it. You can if you want. You don't have to, because I forgot to do it. So that's another concealer you can use. Another powder that you can use to set your under eyes, e.l.f. HD Under Eye Setting Powder. It's kind of brightening. It's kind of a pale pinky white color. You can also use this if you don't want to use this. This is very transparent. It will not have any color. This is a little bit white. It might look a little white, so if you're very deep skinned, be aware of that. But it's brightening. It's a great under eye setting powder. It's absolutely fabulous. Ooh, now I'm gonna just press my face again just so I can really set all of that makeup. And then let's see here. I'm also going to use a lot more e.l.f. products, some CoverGirl products. I am going to be using some really nice affordable blushes and bronzers and contour powders. I'm using a lot of e.l.f. in this video because they are so affordable. But before I do that, I'm going to go in with, I think, one more high-end product. This is just my favorite bronzer. You can use any bronzer that you like. I want to make sure this is nice and set and dry and all pushed into the skin. This helps not only set your makeup, but really push it into your skin so it really adheres to those surfaces really nicely. Alright, so for bronzer, I'm going to use my Tarte Park Avenue Princess Bronzer. This one has a little bit of a sheen to it. There is a matte version of it if you're interested. And to apply that, I'm going to use my e.l.f. I'm sorry, I talk really fast. To apply that, I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Complexion Brush. And I'm just going to dab a little bit in, tap off the excess, and then all I do is apply this from here to here, just to warm up my skin tone since I am so fair and pale. You could use NYC Sunny Bronzer, because that's a great bronzer. You could use really any drugstore bronzer. The drugstore has some great affordable bronzers. I just don't currently own any, and I love how this looks on my skin. You could use, if you want a high-end bronzer, you could use Benefit Hoola, NARS Laguna. There's so many good ones out there. So I just wanted to warm up my skin a little bit. Then I'm going to be using a little bit of a highlight. And if you don't want to use this, here's some drugstore options. The e.l.f. Contour Palette has a cool contour shade, which is just when you're contouring like the hollows of your cheekbones or down your nose, your chin, anything that you want to pull back, create a shadow, a nice bronzer, a kind of creamy white highlight with just a little bit of a sheen to it, and then this kind of yellowish matte banana powder. This will help brighten your skin and highlight it a little more, and these will give you more depth. So that's e.l.f. And then Sleek Cosmetics has their contour palettes. There's your contour or bronzer shade, your highlighter, and then your kind of pinky sheeny blush. So these are great to use, and this is actually what I'm going to use. I'm going to use the highlight in here. You can use any highlight you want. There's some great ones at the drugstore. I'm going to take my e.l.f. small taper brush, dip it in, tap it off, and then I'm going to run this down my nose and a little bit on the tip of my nose, Cupid's bow, chin. Then I take a little bit on the high points of my cheekbones. And I'm also going to show you how you can use this or another palette as your eyeshadows. Because another thing is, when you're worrying about everything, you don't want to worry about different eyeshadow palettes. So you could totally use these as eyeshadows. You could throw this in your crease and that on your lid and as your highlight. Or Makeup Geek or any drugstore palette that has natural shadows or any shadows you want to use, you could totally use. I'm going to use my Makeup Geek starter kit. And this has a bunch of really nice shades. And I'm going to be using, again, really affordable brushes. I'm going to take my e.l.f. blending brush and go into this nice, just like neutral, warm brown shade. Tap that off. And I'm going to put this into my crease. Oh my gosh, I forgot to use eye primer. Everybody pause. And actually, you know what? We're going to skip that too, because if you put concealer on, then set that eye area, your eyes are primed. But yes, this is an option. I'm just a mess in this video. So we're going to buff that onto the crease. Perfect. I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. Get a little bit more just to bring that up a little bit. This is going to warm that eye area up, give some definition, just some color. And you can do windshield wiper motions and then circular blending motions. Perfect. Now, for the lid, I'm just going to take that highlight shade, and I'm honestly just going to dab my finger in and then pat it on. Because this is more of a shimmery shade, so it's going to bring some light to your eyes and just make you look really nice and awake and bright. And it's going to be beautiful. And sometimes it's easier just to apply eyeshadows with your finger if you don't have brushes or don't have time. Same thing for the other side. And the reason I'm using Makeup Geek shadows is because they are so affordable. You do have to buy them online, but they're really pigmented, they blend beautifully, and they are affordable, so they're a great option. Now, I'm going to take that e.l.f. brush and just make sure that's blended into the other shade so that we have no harsh lines or anything. Add a little bit more of that crease color, which is totally optional. And even if you were really in a hurry, you could seriously just put on the crease color and be good to go. It is that simple and that easy. I'm just going to take that pearly color again and highlight my brow bone. So this is basically a sandwich method. You have a highlight color, a deeper color, and you just sandwich them on your eye and it looks beautiful. Now we're going to move on to eyebrows. We'll finish the eyes in a little bit. I'm going to use my e.l.f. Lift Brow Pencil to comb it out and then fill it in. If you have perfect brows, just get a brow gel or even chapstick will work. And you can just set your brows. Or if you want it just a tinted brow, like mascara, L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper Gel has fibers in it and it's tinted. So you could do that too if you're in a rush or if you have really nice brows already. And as you can see, you should not rush when you do your makeup because like me, you'll forget to do things like that e.l.f. primer. But even then, some of these primers are really great quality, so you don't even have to worry about it, especially if you do conceal your eyes. Like put concealer over them and set it with the powder, they should be good to go. So I'm just filling that in. And this is not the most precise pencil, I will say right now. A lot of people like the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. There's a Maybelline Brow Satin or Define and Fill, which is great too, which I just recently bought, and I will do a review on that soon. But then I just comb through them to evenly disperse that product once again. Then I'm going to take my L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper Gel in light to medium and just brush that to not only give them a hint more color, but also set them and make them look just a little more full so they won't move and they'll look really nice and polished. And if you accidentally get some down there, just wipe it off. But this is a great affordable drugstore makeup like dupe for the Benefit Gimme Brow. It works so beautifully. And it's so much more affordable. What more could you want? I sound like a dork. Beautiful. And your eyebrows might look a little crazy until you finish your makeup. Okay, so if you want to line your eyes and give them a little more definition, what I would suggest is either taking a really dark eyeshadow in an angled brush and just defining that upper lash line, or you can take a gel liner. This is by Essence. It's from Ulta. It's like $3 and it's in black. And I'm just going to take an angled liner brush and just kind of smudge this along my upper lash line, so I will be right back. Okay, so I just wanted to go over what I did on my upper lash line. I went through with my gel liner in an angled brush and I just kind of put it on the upper lash line, and then what I did, you could take the same brush or a detailer brush just to set that. I took my same eyeshadows, I dipped it in the brown and that black, and I just smudged out that gel liner to set it and make sure it looked nice and smooth and it's not jagged. It's just a nice way to smudge out your liner if you're in a hurry, so you don't have to be super precise. Now, for lashes, you could curl your lashes. This is just my Revlon lash curler. You don't have to use this. I'm just gonna really quickly squeeze a few times, give them a decent little curl. Then I'm going to use my CoverGirl Supersizer Mascara. This is just a really quick go-to mascara. It gives you nice volume and length. And it really amps up the lashes. I know there's a lot of controversy around this mascara, but it's a great, just all-in-one really quick go-to mascara. It does have more of a wet formula, so you will have to be a little more careful with it, because it can get everywhere. We actually just want to apply that. I'm going to do the upper and lower. On both eyes. Let's see if I can get a little closer so you can see a little bit better. And I'm using this in black. And a lot of people like this if they have more sparse lashes. And I know to take a mascara already down there, you can take a Q-tip and just wait till it dries off and then just kind of like brush it off a little bit or dab it off. It works really easily. But when I'm in a hurry this morning, this is my go-to mascara. It's great. And then for blush, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an e.l.f. blush. You can take the sleek blush, totally fine. And this is in Tickled Pink. It's just a nice everyday pink color. It's a barely there blush. And I'm going to take my e.l.f. Mineral Powder blush, dab that in a few times, tap it off, and then put that on my cheeks. It's just a nice flush of color. Makes you look nice and rosy and awake. It's really beautiful. And what I love about this blush is it's so subtle that you don't have to be careful with it. You can just put that on and be really sloppy because it's such a barely there subtle blush. It's beautiful. Just gives some life to the cheeks and it looks really, really nice and pretty. Perfect. Now, if you want to blend everything out, take your e.l.f. complexion brush and just take it over that and blend it out. Now, since I did notice this setting spray can make you really dewy, I'm just going to go back with some of my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder and just apply it where I'm feeling just a smidge dewy. Just barely dab it because this works so well. Then I'm actually going to take a little bit more just under my eyes because that eye area does get just a little bit dewy. But I'm just going to barely sweep it so make sure it doesn't get too dry and crepey. Now, for lips, I'm going to take a, whoops, no I'm not. I'm going to take a lip liner. This is in mauve. It's a nice everyday shade. I'm going to fill in my lips and line them. Draw that all over, fill them in a little. And I'm very sloppily filling this in because I'm going to cover it up with another color. Now, I'm going to be using some of my e.l.f. matte lip colors. You can use any color you want, but I'm just going to use the praline one today, which is a nice everyday kind of brownish toffee color. I want to apply that right over this. These are not completely matte, but they are incredibly comfortable, and I love them. And they're super affordable. And they come in so many shades, and they're all beautiful and pigmented and creamy. They're very comfortable. Perfect. Now, to finish off, I'm just going to spray one more time with my finishing spray. And that's the finished look. It is so easy. Like you can see, the eye look is very easy. It's not the fastest, so you can definitely switch out any products you want. I'm just going to take my hair down. I have bobby pins to keep it out of my face. But that is seriously the look. You have your base, your complexion, your life to your face. You have your easy eye look, your brows, your mascara, your lips are super easy and affordable. It just makes you look more put together, polished. And again, you don't have to use all these steps because this is like 24 minutes long, super long. But yeah, this is a totally easy makeup look. If you're just every day going to school, running errands, it's great. And I will have to go back and fix that mascara that got on my lower lash line. But seriously, these products are awesome. I will link them all in the description box below. Leave any comments on things that you want to see in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. And again, I love all my subscribers. You are wonderful. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you totally can. I do have a link. I'm at Bailey D. Penn. So I will definitely link that below. But yeah, I love all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed getting ready with me or at least watching this video. It's very easy every day and natural looking. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. I'm just going to go run some errands and I'll see you all later. Bye!